FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
I guess you can extend this to every part of life now. Is it possible that we're becoming too cynical as fans?
I actually think we're becoming a lot more enlightened. I think that the problem is not us, the problem is them. I'm all about the idea of having heroes. Like, I love the idea. Like, certainly I can't believe how much I've made fun of this guy. I think Eli Manning is like the most awesome guy in the world right now. Like, after that fourth quarter, I was like that little kid that was like, Manning back, and he scrambles and throws. Like, it's very exciting to have moments like that. But I think that, like, the best way to think of sports is to think of it as, like, we forget that, like, they are paid entertainers. Like that, this is all entertainment. I'm a paid entertainer. Anyone that works in the media is a paid entertainer. This is all entertainment. It's diversion. And so because of that, I think that it demystifies sports, I think, in a positive way. In that, like, when you think of, like, the way that they reacted to sports in the past, there was, like, this idea that, like, well, Mickey Mantle really does drink Ovaltine, and is in fact the way that we should all actually pattern our lives after. And I think the perspective that we have on it now, because there is more information, there's no more of this chumminess, and we will make Mickey Mantle look like this incredible great god, when in fact he's not. Actually, I think it's actually a much more healthy thing for sports fans than it was back then. There was a level of separation there that I think made people. They got all kinds of details about sports wrong, and it became something, and I think it's kind of led to this general idea now that, like, well, LeBron James is really great in the fast break, so I guess I have to drink his awful sports beverage. And it's kind of led to, like, to that kind of, there's an essay in the book about the difference between LeBron James and Gilbert Arenas, and the general idea is that, like, I think LeBron is still kind of playing off this Michael Jordan notion of the idea that, like, you say nothing controversial, you're this global icon that says nothing, does nothing, and just has no personality at all. And whereas Arenas is like this very, like, weirdly sensitive guy who will, like, write about how he's afraid he was afraid he was going to drop his kid, and, like, just all these weirdly personal things. And I think that's actually what we want more of athletes now. I think that's actually a lot more honest. I'm not sure we believe LeBron James is just the strategy with Jordan was almost that, like, say nothing, be nothing, and people just will attach all the qualities they want from an athlete and just assume that you are that. And I don't think we're like that anymore. We're a little smarter. There's a lot more information than that now. So I think we're looking for someone more like Arenas, and I think that's okay. I think it's like Albert Pujols is my favorite. Yadier Molina is probably my favorite player. I'm a former catcher, but and by that I mean I kept score and I was third string. And but I would occasionally, if the backup catcher was hurt or tired, I would warm up a pitcher in the bullpen. So I guess that makes me a catcher. Anyway, but like I love Yadier Molina, or Jim Edmonds is a good example of this. I love Jim Edmonds, but I'm fairly certain that if Jim and Edmonds and I knew each other in real life, we would probably not be friends. And I think that's okay. Like, to me, I like that idea. Like, I think it's best for fans to treat athletes as what they are. They're paid entertainers. You enjoy them for what they are, and then you move on with your life. So I think that's the most help. I think that's a way that a lot of people that cover sports or work in sports for a full-time basis forget a little bit, is that, like, the average person doesn't experience sports the way that they do. They have a lot better perspective on sports. At the end of the day, they go home and they go back to their regular worries and their regular lives, as opposed to. And I think that's why I think a lot of times you see so many things covered in sports as, like, these big morality plays, as if it really is the end of the world whether Roger Clemens did steroids or not, as if it's really the most important thing, and it's not. Like, and I think that the Clemens thing is a good example of that, because, you know, he's got those congressional things coming up. I remember the original idea of this was supposed to be, oh, well, we're going to get to the bottom of this steroids mess. But that's not how anyone is reacting to the Clemens thing. It's like, oh, they're going to get him. It's going to be awesome. And I think that's actually a much more healthy attitude than this idea that somehow we're going to solve a problem that was from 10 years ago. And I'm sorry I went on like 5 different tangents there.